The Sea of Galilee is pitch black at 3 in the morning. It's a specific kind of cold. It doesn't just blow past you, it sinks its teeth into your damp clothes and wraps around your bones. Listen to the boat. The hollow rhythmic thud of the wooden hull slapping against the black water. It is the loneliest sound in the world when you have completely lost your way. My name is Simon, but he called me Peter. The Rock. That feels like a cruel joke now. I have been staring at my scarred, calloused hands for the last 6 hours. I belong to this lake. 3 years ago, I walked away from these very shores because a carpenter from Nazareth looked at me and told me I was going to fish for men. I thought we were marching toward a throne. John is asleep in the bow, shivering under a wool blanket. Thomas is staring out at the empty horizon. We have been casting nets all night. Nothing. Not a single silver flash in the moonlight. Even the sea is rejecting us tonight. There is a smell that haunts my waking hours. It isn't the saltless sea or the metallic scent of fish blood. It is the sharp, acrid smoke of burning charcoal. Every time I close my eyes, the cold wind fades, and I am back in that stone courtyard in Jerusalem, the night they took him. I followed them in the shadows, terrified. My heart was hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. There was a brazier filled with glowing, red-hot coals in the center of the courtyard. I stepped up to it, holding my trembling hands over the heat. Then, a servant girl stepped into the light. She squinted at me. "You were one of them. You were with the Galilean." "I don't know the man." The lie tasted like ash in my mouth, but I said it to save my own skin. The rock crumbled. 3 times they pressed me. 3 times I swore blind I had never met the man who gave me my life back. And then, through the cold night air, the rooster crowed. I looked up, across the crowded, smoky courtyard. He was beaten. He was bleeding. But he stopped. He turned his head, and he looked right at me. He didn't scream. He didn't look angry. He just looked at me with this quiet, shattering sorrow. He knew. I ran out into the pitch-black streets of Jerusalem, fell into the dirt, and wept until I couldn't breathe. The sky in the east is finally starting to crack open. A thin, bruised line of purple bleeding into the absolute blackness. Dawn. The morning mist is thick, rolling heavily over the water. Suddenly, a voice echoes across the water. It comes from the misty shoreline. "Friends, haven't you caught any fish?" I cup my hands over my mouth and yell back, the frustration thick in my throat. "No, we've got nothing." "Throw your net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some." It is a ridiculous order, but there is something in the cadence of that voice, something that cuts straight through my exhaustion. Without a word, John and I grab the heavy, soaked ropes. We heave the massive net over the starboard side. It hits the dark water with a heavy splash. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. The rope snaps violently taut. It rips through my calloused palms. I brace my boots against the wood. The entire boat groans. The water below us absolutely erupts. A frenzy of churning silver scales and white foam. It defies all logic. John drops his section of the rope. He leans over the edge. He stares at the churning water, and then His eyes slowly track up to the misty shoreline. He grabs my shoulder. His hand is violently trembling. "Peter, it is the Lord." My heart stops. The breath vanishes from my lungs. I drop the net. I look toward the beach. There is a fire burning on the sand, a charcoal fire, and a man is standing beside it, waiting. I don't think. I grab my heavy outer coat. I don't care about the boat. I don't care about the fish. I vault over the side of the boat and hit the freezing water. The water is freezing. It drags at my heavy clothes, trying to pull me under. I don't care. I fight the current. My lungs burn, but I keep swimming. Finally, my boots hit the muddy bottom. I push through the shallows, stumbling, falling, tearing my hands on the hidden rocks. I drag myself onto the wet sand of Galilee. He is there. I stay on my knees for a moment, the lake water dripping from my beard. I don't dare look up. Then it hits me. The smell. It is the sharp, unmistakable scent of burning charcoal. The exact same smell that filled the high priest's courtyard. The night I destroyed everything. The night the rock crumbled into dust. "Bring some of the fish you have just caught." His voice is completely normal. No anger, no disappointment. Just him. I scramble to my feet. The others have finally brought the boat to shore. I grab the heavy, dripping net all by myself and drag it up the beach. 153 massive fish. The net should be torn to shreds, but it holds. We sit in a circle around the fire. Nobody speaks. None of us dares to ask him, "Who are you?" We know. Oh God, we know. He takes the bread, breaks it, and hands it to us. Then the fish. I eat, but I can't taste anything. My stomach is a knot of pure terror and desperate hope. Breakfast is over. The dawn has broken completely, casting a golden light over the Sea of Galilee. He stands up. He looks at me, just like he did across that dark courtyard. But this time, he walks toward me. "Simon, son of John." He uses my old name. Simon, the man I was before he called me a rock. "Do you love me more than these?" The question hits me like a physical blow. The air leaves my lungs. Does he know? Of course he knows. I claimed I loved him more than the others. I boasted I would die for him. "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." "Feed my lambs." I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding, but he doesn't look away. "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" My throat tightens. The memory of the second denial flashes in my mind. The servant girl, the absolute panic. "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." "Take care of my sheep." The wind off the lake stops entirely. The world goes dead silent. He steps closer. His eyes burn right through the armor of my chest. "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" The dam breaks. The third time. 3 denials, 3 questions. The symmetry of my failure is laid bare on the sand. My heart is completely crushed. "Lord,
You know all things. You were there in the courtyard. You saw me fall. You know my cowardice. You know every single broken, pathetic piece of my soul. But you know that I love you.
He reaches out. His scarred hand rests heavily on my wet, trembling shoulder. Feed my sheep. It is finished. The overwhelming shame that has choked me for days vanishes into the smoke of that charcoal fire. He didn't demand an apology. He didn't ask for a promise I couldn't keep. He just asked if I loved him. And then he handed me back my purpose. The rock was shattered. That is true. But now, it is a rock that knows exactly what it means to be put back together by grace. And through those cracks, his light can finally shine. I stand up. The morning sun hits my face. I am ready now. I am not afraid of the religious elite anymore. I am not afraid of Rome. I am not even afraid of the cross that he said is waiting for me at the end of my life. Because I know the truth. Even if you fail spectacularly, even if you hit rock bottom in the middle of the night, he will be waiting for you at dawn, with a warm fire, a meal, and the one question that fixes everything. My name is Peter, and I am forgiven.